Hello everyone, and welcome to The Sims lore. Before we begin this really creepy video, I want to plug my other socials real quick. If you love The Sims 3 and also like a really chilled out playstyle... Oh my god! Oh my god! He could actually die. He could die right now. He's exhausted. Oh my god, he's drowning. And follow me on Twitch. I stream every Wednesday at 5 PM and Friday at 6 PM, all at GMT+1. Every single stream and future Let's Plays will be posted on my second channel, Miss Lore Plays, so go subscribe. Thank you. Also, this mystery piqued my interest when it was briefly discussed on my Discord server in the Mysteries and Drama channel, so if you're not a member yet, come join us and let me know what you'd like me to cover next. Who knows, maybe your theories will make it in a future video. The Discord discussion inspired me to create this series, The Ghost Children of The Sims 3, and this is its first episode, where we'll be looking at the first child victim of The Sims 3 and how she might have met her demise. So grab your snacks, hold on tightly to your pets, partners, or plushies, and let's dive into the mystery. Don't forget to subscribe and like this if you enjoyed it. Alright, let's get straight into the video. I want to start off in Sunset Valley, where the first child victim was claimed. Before Pleasant View, there was Sunset Valley, founded by the Goth family and built up by the Landgrabs to be a quiet, peaceful town. But when the Altos arrive with uptown ideals, will the townsfolk feel the need to choose sides? These are some of the most influential families around Sunset Valley, amongst other iconic Sims like the Wolves, Crumplebottom, Landerac, Bachelor, and more. But amongst these iconic living Sims, there are a few who didn't quite make it. Specifically, one that's buried right here in Sunset Valley. Pleasant Rest Graveyard holds many dark secrets, definitely one of which we will try to uncover today. Kids in the Sims franchise can die and have met that fate here under mysterious circumstances at the hands of the developers, of course. The graveyard in Sunset Valley is relatively large, with 23 deceased Sims buried outside the mausoleum. At the entrance of the graveyard, a statue of the Grim Reaper greets you as it stands tall in front of the small pond. On either side of this, there are 14 tombstones, one of which is our mysterious subject for today. Moving over to the left-hand side, there are 4 tombstones all next to one another. The tombstones are small, indicating that these Sims didn't have much lifetime happiness or rewards and did not complete their lifetime wish. Hovering over each tombstone reads Nida Khan, Erdrick Gnomeheim, Opal Suarley, and Tragic Clown. Other than the Tragic Clown, the others don't really ring a bell. Upon further inspection, one of them met their fate sooner than they were supposed to, and that Sim is Opal Suarley. Let's take a closer look. Her tombstone reveals that she died by drowning. Once she comes out at night, we can see that she has stars drawn on her face as well as wearing a star dress. Looking more into her, we find out that Opal was a child with the Taurus star sign, and she was a daredevil, good, and family-oriented. Her favorites were classical music, sushi, and the color red. Opal doesn't have a bio, nor does she have any relationships. Looking at her family tree, she doesn't seem to have any other family members either, and if she did, they too are probably deceased. Weirdly enough, she has a lifetime wish of becoming an international super spy. Many have said that this is impossible with children, but sometimes, even in my own games, children can get recommended different lifetime wishes if they have a strong incline towards something in particular. So, nothing noteworthy here other than maybe her lifetime wish. However, I have investigated this a bit deeper and I have a few theories. To better understand what might have happened to Opal, let's firstly look at the Sims buried next to her. She is buried next to 3 other Sims, Nida, Erdrick, and the Tragic Clown. Of course we know the Tragic Clown from previous Sims games. Canonically, Tragic Clown has never been alive, which explains its supernatural ability to come out of paintings. I have a video on him, so go check it out if you haven't seen it. Firstly, let's look at the possible connection between Opal and the Tragic Clown. They both died by drowning, are buried next to each other, and both wear face paint. This is an important factor for my theory, and even though right now it sounds a bit silly and trivial, it will make sense a bit later on. These three things in common make them highly connected. Interestingly, looking closer at the tragic clown, we can see he was hydrophobic. It is impossible to die from drowning in game if you have the hydrophobic trait, unless he was murdered. So far, my belief has been that there was foul play, considering there is a missing appeal for him on the carton of milk when Sims prepare a meal. This type of advertisement began in the United States in the 1980s and was used to publicize cases of missing kids, which was later portrayed in media in a satirical way. It ended up not being very effective and was later discontinued when the Amber Alert system became available in 1996. So if the tragic clown met his fate by someone else's hands, what does that have to do with Opal? Well, considering they both drowned and are buried next to each other, there must be some sort of connection. Perhaps Opal saw or knew something about the tragic clown's disappearance or murder. The murderer found this out and decided it was too risky to let her live. Now, I know what you might think. But Miss Lore, Opal probably drowned by mistake. All this murder stuff doesn't make sense. And I'm here to tell you, yes it does. And I believe Opal was murdered. I don't think it's a coincidence that Opal had the international super spy lifetime wish. If she was murdered, whether it was alongside the tragic clown or not, she would have wanted someone to catch the killer. Developing this lifetime wish while dead seems a bit not possible, really. And coming back to the face paint, she and the tragic clown have that in common, which makes me think they might have been in the circus together. So with all of that in mind, here's how the story went based on my theory. Opal Suarley was a circus kid. Her past is unknown, but it's said that she was abandoned as a child. She found the circus and she had a good family there, for a while anyway. Here, she also met Tragic Clown, who was part of the circus too, and they would quickly become friends. One night, Opal was headed in Tragic Clown's trailer to call him in for his act. When she went in, he was nowhere to be found. Opal and her circus family looked everywhere but couldn't find him. They went to Sunset Valley Police Department and asked for help. Tragic Clown's picture was put on the missing cartons of milk in supermarkets all around Sunset Valley in hope that someone saw him. But to no avail. Tragic Clown was missing for a few months, until one night when the circus was closed to the public, Opal couldn't sleep and started roaming around. She found some leftover cotton candy in the machine and was eating it when she heard noises coming from the car park. When she went over, she saw somebody dragging something that was soaking wet. She couldn't see properly as the car park street lamp that usually worked was now broken. Opal let out a small noise, and unfortunately, this got the killer's attention. She ran as fast as she could to try and get to her family's trailer, but she never made it. If this theory is correct, the next question is, who murdered Opal and the Tragic Clown? Going back to the cemetery and looking at the rest of the Sims buried next to her, we find Nida Khan and Erdrick Gnomeheim. Let's take a closer look at them. First up is Erdrick Gnomeheim. Erdrick died of old age and he had the Pisces star sign. He was insane, flirty, couldn't stand art, and a kleptomaniac. Interestingly, in my game, probably because I have all the packs, he has only one favorite, and that is Geek Rock. Also pretty interesting, even though he's not evil or mean-spirited, his lifetime wish was to become the Emperor of Evil. Okay, next is Nida Khan. She died of old age and had the Taurus star sign. She was a technophobe, a vegetarian, disliked children, was easily impressed, and mean-spirited. Her favorites were kids' music, cheesesteak, and the color black. Her lifetime wish was to become the Emperor of Evil, just like Erdrick, and she also passed away due to old age. What we know about them now ties in with Opal's demise, since I think they had something to do with Opal's death. Let me explain. Nida hates kids, and she wants to become the Empress of Evil, while Erdrick is insane. The two of them are buried next to each other, meaning they must have known each other or had some sort of relationship. So the next theory's story is as follows. Opal Suarley was left orphaned after her parents died in a tragic accident. She was then put into the care of her estranged aunt and uncle, couple Nida Khan and Erdrick Gnomeheim. The two were having relationship problems, so Opal came into a fairly bad situation. Erdrick was unstable and mentally insane, while Nida hated kids as she sent her own to boarding school and never heard from them again. To her surprise, her sister had left Opal in her care in case anything bad happened to her and her husband, since they had no other living relatives. Opal hated living with her aunt and uncle and just wanted to run far away. She was always causing trouble at school and at home, frequently being picked up by the police when seen sleeping on beach or park benches at night. This caused Nida a lot of stress as she didn't want to be responsible for Opal anymore. Over the course of a few days, her and Erdrick hatched a plan to murder Opal. One night, they headed out to the cemetery as this was the least frequented place in Sunset Valley due to all the clown haunting rumors. And, well, you know what happened next. Poor Opal drowned in the cemetery's pond, and then the two buried her next to the tragic clown, knowing that no sim would ever come and visit those graves. Because Nida and Erdrick never got along during their relationship, when one of them passed away, the other made sure that the burial site was right next to Opal. Of course, another theory is that either Nida, Erdrick, or both murdered the tragic clown as well, but I'm not seeing much backup to that theory, other than maybe insanity on Erdrick's part. Okay, now let's get into your theories. Blue Plumbob on Discord thinks that Opal met her demise when the tragic clown murdered her. For them, this stems from the Pennywise It story, where a clown comes back to the same place where they used to murder kids after 20-something years, which fits in with the Sims timelines. The theory is that Opal is based on Georgie, one of Pennywise's victims, who during a heavy rainstorm was floating their paper sailboats and was subsequently left for dead when his arm was torn apart by the clown. What do you guys think? Do you believe this was a reference to Pennywise and the series It? Or do you think Opal was either a circus kid who saw something she shouldn't have or adopted by the wrong people? Let me know in the comments below. Also, join the Discord or leave your comments down below on what you'd like me to cover next and get the chance to have your theories in the videos. Alright guys, there you have it, lots of info on Opal Suarley and how she might have met her demise. I'd like to thank my patrons Negative Dana, Papa Khan, Leo Thompson, Artsy Flashback, Nathan Lim, Caitlin Luigi, A Wild Kitty Cat, Keita John the Arcane Archer, Carolyn, Andreas, Whitney, Amy Louise, Charlie, Libby Young, Perlog Anwil, Shelby Hill, Nicole Dante, Nicola Morton, Moth Detective, Kiwi, Amy Hassel, Alia Deshaez, and Elizabeth Lindloff. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. That's it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it and let me know your theories in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram for more lore and updates. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!